Hi, I'm Greg Lake. In this episode of Forever Green Manufacturing TV, I'll expand on the concept of latency and give you a method to eliminate it. In Confessions of Workaholic, I took a week off and I'll show you how I really enjoyed the comforts of home, but yet I was in the wilderness. Finally, meet our Forever Green Manufacturing Award winner who has put zero latency into use. You're watching the only online TV program with proven strategies that grow highly profitable manufacturing companies. Welcome to Forever Green Manufacturing TV. In the last episode, I talked about latency, which I define as delays associated with internal procedures and the manual effort needed to move information throughout your company. The problem with information delays is they increase the cost of doing business. So where is it that latency negatively impacts costs? Well, that's easy. Everywhere. From the office to the shop floor. From customer service to purchasing. From accounting to estimating. From executives to material handlers. Working around information delays impact everything. I don't think anybody would disagree that they envy companies who have timely information throughout their organization and to their customers and vendors. Most see such companies as dominating their competition. Those companies found a way to achieve zero latency. You can too. When you realize how often latency impacts people both inside and outside your organization, along with the potential cost, it becomes apparent that it just has to be fixed. But how? Quite simply, declare a war on latency. Adopt a zero latency strategy that eliminates information delays. And how do you do that? Well, there's 4 steps. First, pick an area that you feel information delays are severely hurting your company. What is it that keeps you up at night? Next, employ what I discussed in episode 6, simple autopilot robotic automation. In other words, use automation to get as much manual effort out of the process as possible. Automating manual tasks speeds the flow of information and lowers your costs. Next, find out what it takes to make that process real-time and take it on. Don't be stuck in the old days assuming that it costs too much money. I have to tell you, the inefficiency along with the wasted money, time, and effort of dealing with latency built into past procedures is far more expensive with far more frustrations than getting the problem under control. Finally, after you solve one problem, go on to another. The idea is to continue picking the low-hanging fruit. It will take time, but you can achieve zero latency and enjoy the benefits it brings, one challenge at a time. In the next episode, I'll give you 3 methods of reducing latency in your organization. I'll see you then. Debbie and I took a week off this summer from the projects at the cabin to take a bit of R&R. Our vacation was the northern part of Minnesota at the international border where Minnesota and Canada meet. A well-known vacation spot is the Boundary Waters Wilderness Area, which is great for non-motorized boats. So if you like nature and want to travel by canoe and camp out with the mosquitoes, the Boundary Waters Wilderness Area is right for you. However, I like tools, toys, equipment, and the conveniences of home. So we went to the border waters, which is roughly 50 miles away. So on the map, this is Canada, and this is Minnesota down here, and the border waters, or the boundary waters, are actually this area, where the border waters is these much larger lakes, interconnected lakes up on the top. Well, anyway, I have to say it was great. We rented a houseboat, actually 2 of them, as there wasn't one available for the whole week. Here's the one we rented. All I can say is, wow, it was massive. At 18 feet wide, 55 feet long, slept 14 people even though we only had 8. 2 bathrooms, dual air conditioners, microwave, refrigerator, stove, a built-in generator to power everything, and just a ton of room. They even had an 8-person hot tub on the upper deck. And the scenery was magnificent. We explored the many interconnected waterways, roaming through tens of thousands of acres of just stunning wilderness. From mammoth rock formations to hundreds of uninhabited islands, we motored into narrow, winding, granite-lined passages that made me wonder whether we'd get that big boat through unscathed. Those passages opened up into huge lakes with islands everywhere. We saw deer, bald eagles, and woke up to loons singing to the rising sun. Obviously, there was no end to where you could fish. We dragged a pontoon boat behind the houseboat. That way, when we landed on the beach for the evening, we could swim, relax, fish, and take a cruise to see more sights. Voyage Air houseboats, where we rented the houseboat, even made daily deliveries. So when we needed food or supplies, they'd find us and deliver it. We even had them deliver lobster for an evening cookout. After dark, the lodge would have trivia contests using ship-to-shore radio with the 40 other houseboats just scattered out in the wilderness. It was really a lot of fun. Debbie and I enjoyed the time with our family and some close friends. But you know what I really liked about it? After all was done, my daughter-in-law uploaded her pictures to Shutterfly and created an album that'll allow us to keep those memories special for years to come. So here's, by the way, sometimes R&R can be difficult. So here's the sleeping page. One granddaughter, another granddaughter, and there's me sleeping alongside the campfire. Man, isn't technology great? Today we honor a company who uses Sightline ERP along with both Shop-Trak and Doc-Trak to make many of their internal processes and documents real-time and paperless. It's with great pride that I present this Forever Green Manufacturing Award to Fluid Components International. Fluid Components is located in San Marcos, California, just north of San Diego. Fluid Components is an ISO 9001 and AS 9100 certified manufacturer of flow, level, pressure, and temperature sensors. Their products are used throughout the world in chemical, food and beverage, green energy, pollution reduction, mining, metals, nuclear, oil and gas, pharmaceuticals, power and energy, pulp and paper, steel, the aerospace and aircraft industries. I had the opportunity to speak with Chris Gonzalez, who's a systems analyst and ERP specialist with Fluid Components. Chris said, "Our Doc-Trak use is going through the roof. Our people love to use it and want to attach documents in places that we never even had in the past. So we're really expanding on it right now. We're having very good results and are in the process of automatically creating configuration and testing documents as we configure our customer orders with the TDCI configurator. With Doc-Trak, those documents will follow our jobs right out to the shop floor. In addition, our testing department runs calibration certificates and final test documents for all of our products. They're all attached using Doc-Trak's virtual rules for both internal use and to ship those documents to the customer right along with the product." For a little background, Fluid Components doesn't use labor collection due to the consistency of their products. So you might say, why Shop-Trak? Well, their staff uses the visual dispatch extensively for status tracking and for providing real-time dispatch information to the shop floor. From the visual dispatch, Doc-Trak for document attachments and whip moves to record production are simply just a click away. Chris went on to say, "We have hundreds of in-process jobs out on the shop floor with changes happening at various operations constantly. Our problem with printed job paperwork is that it's typically generated at one moment in time. For us, printed paperwork is not flexible enough to handle our changing needs. Shop-Trak and Doc-Trak combine to provide us the most current information at the moment it's needed without the paperwork. Whip moves provide us continuous tracking of work in process. The results in Shop-Trak, well, let me just put it this way. We're buying many more licenses because everyone wants to work in Shop-Trak. The visibility and status information is much nicer, and the information provided allows them to make decisions much more easily than they ever had before." Now let's think about this. Fluid Components has simple autopilot robotic automation and zero latency down to a science. They've used technology to reduce cost, streamline, and automate past practices. This has eliminated delays, so information is available immediately to make better decisions. Thank you, Chris and Fluid Components, for providing an example of how to apply the zero latency strategy discussed earlier in this episode. For their success in leveraging our applications to improve business, as well as to reduce their use of paper, we proudly present this award to Fluid Components International. Chris, you and all your staff, job well done. Your award is on its way. To learn more about Fluid Components and their products, go to their website at www.fluidcomponents.com. In the next episode, I'm back to work. This time it's landscaping, and I'll share an inexpensive little gadget that I found that works really well. On behalf of the entire staff of the Lake Companies, thanks for watching.